Dashavatara stories are the backbone of our culture. Vast Indian philosophy and mythological epics are the core births of these stories. It combines thought, clarity and the charm of the story. Vyasa and other sages who composed the Avatar stories tried to add a touch of philosophy in to everyday life. That is why these stories of avatars are our guide and are the renovations of self-knowledge. This video also aims to bring these stories to common people and children in simple language. I should be blessed if this video could shine even a small beacon of knowledge and devotion on those who watch and listen to it. King Parishit, the great king of Chandravamsa, set out for hunting. Elephants, mounted hillmen, specially trained hounds and bodyguards were also part of the Maharaja's animal entertainment. When he reached the forest, the king forgot enough with happiness. The beauty of forest was so beautiful. The wild beast fled at the sound of the king's bow. Even the king of the forest, the lion, was afraid of King Parishit, and the animals tried to escape from the arrow of that brave king. Forgetting all his endurance, the king persuaded the hounds, realizing that he had lost his way and that he was far from his companions. The king had enough of his hunting and calmed down. The king looked around. He has come to a forest where there is no previous experience. The forest, full of flowers and vines, was very calm. The Maharaja was very tired and had to drink some water from somewhere. He was so thirsty. Parishit went ahead in search of drinking water. There is no sign of any nearby streams. If the thirst increased greatly. Anyway, the king took the temple to get drinking water. Then there is a monk meditating in front. Reassurance, he will definitely not provide drinking water. Parishit was very happy. The king came to Sannyasi and inquired where he could get drinking water. The meditative monk was calm. Shamika did not listen to any of the questions of king Parishit because he was concentrating on God. He did penance without drinking water. Every now and then, waking up from meditation, Shamika would go to the meadow beyond the forest. The calves of the grazing cows will be drinking milk from the mother's cow's udder. Shamika ate only the curd that came out through the gate of the milk drinking cows. This alone was enough for that Mahadavasa to leave. The king felt very angry with Shamika, who was firm as a rock, no matter how many calls he made. Parishit is not just a king. he is a descendant of Chandra and the emperor of Hastinapura, the grandson of Arjuna, the son of the Pandava clan, son of Abhimanyu. It is Abhimanyu's son who never fails in his glory and self-esteem. It is only natural for such a Parikshit to feel angry with the sage who does not move after asking for a little tasty water. Still Parikshit did not wake up. Shamigan, he was ready to go by, disgusted and very thirsty. That is when Parikshit saw a dead snake nearby. Parikshit dug out the snake with the tip of his bow and put it on Shamiga's neck in order to laugh at the monk who was sitting as if he was dead. Still the sage did not know anything. Parikshit laughed, seeing the dead snake around the neck of the sage, who did not pay attention to the emperor of the Kuru clan. After looking at that interesting sight for a while, he quickly started looking for drinking water. Parikshit laughed, seeing the dead snake around the neck of the sage, who did not pay attention to the emperor. After looking at the interesting sight for a while, he quickly started looking for drinking water. Sage Shamiga's son was playing with his friends near Sringi ashram. They made fun of Sringi's father by tying the dead snake around his neck and pretending to be Lord Shiva. Hearing this, Sringi ran to the place where his father was doing penance. The boy was very sad to see the dead snake there and his unconscious father around his neck. The sage cursed the person who insulted his father in this way. Take the dead serpent on my father's shoulder and let the sinful Takshaka die within 7 days from the bite of the cobra. Shamiga, who came to know about this fierce curse, immediately woke up from his penance and asked his son what happened that curse caused. The sage realized that it was the pious king Parikshit who had taken the dead serpent around his neck. Cursed by his son's sudden anger, sage Shamiga was very sad. Sringi, sage's dog, also became very sad when he came to know that he had cursed Parikshit. The supreme devotee, Sringi, immediately sent a sage friend to Hastinapuri to inform the Maharaja about the curse. When the Parikshit heard about Sringi's curse, he was sacred at first, but calmed down about his discretion. Forgetting himself with thirst and pride, he calmed down that it was the punishment of the cruel hand. However, the news that their beloved king would be bitten by the Takshaka snake within 7 days spread like wildfire throughout Hastinapuram. Ministers, sage chiefs, and military leaders started rushing to save the life of their emperor. They consulted to do what they could to stop the curse. They built a very tall single pillar and a full-fledged inn on a rolling pillar. The Maharaja put Parishit, the chief sages and the great doctors in a room and closed the doors and windows. A strong guard was also placed at the foot of the pillar. This one pillar is built secured in such a way that not even a fly can enter. In spite of all this, Parishit and the sages who passed by believed that Munikumaran's curse was working. Just even knowing that he had only a few days to live, Parishit told the sages that he wanted to hear the stories of Lord's incarnations. According to this, the Dashavatara stories of Sri Maha Avatar are Bhagavata stories narrated by Munijanam. Parishit, Dashavatara's Bhagavata is the incarnation of Lord Vishnu. The Sanskrit poet Boladeva is believed to be the author of this great book containing 18,000 slokas and 12 skandhas. Bhagavatam was translated into Malayalam by Edutachan, the father of the Malayalam language. Not only in the Bhagavata, but in many Puranas, Dashavatara stories are presented. The sages who stayed at Stambhagopuram with Parishit finished reciting the great carnation of Lord Vishnu in 7 days. After listening to Bhagavad stories, Parishit's pride completely disappeared and he was ready to submit to God's will. The 7th day of the curse came when King Parishit was to be killed. All the people of Hastinapuri and the Brahmins eagerly travelled to Rajadhani. Among them, Takshakan came to the place, that is palace, dressed as a Brahmin. Takshakan was surprised to see his security arrangements. The security forces would not even allow him to enter the palace grounds, let alone Ekastamba. But Takshaka understood that the object of sight offered by the Brahmins in prayer were being tested. Takshaka Naga called his brother Nagas for help. They also came to the palace dressed as Brahmins. Takshaka informed them of his plan. They entrusted the gods to give some fruits to the king. After detailed test, the fruits given by the disguised Nagas reached Parishit. Neither the king nor his companions knew that Takshaka was hiding in the form of a worm in one of those fruits. Parishit took the largest and most beautiful fruit to eat. When he cut it, he saw the worm and took it. It grew into Tane Takshakan and carved him. King Parishit died instantly. Parishit died with the satisfaction of hearing Bhagavad stories. Desavadhara stories are the Bhagavad stories told by the sages to Parishit.